now that I've come into Lanayru Gorge and taken a nice look around and gotten the key and everything, now I can take the long way around. So ideally I want to come out over here because the time shift orb is right near there. I don't need to know who that is. It's gold that can plow the pumpkin patch. But we don't need to worry about that right now. So the dragon's dead just a bit, but luckily there's a tree over here that's also dead that can bear a fruit that will save him. So ideally you just, well, go in the locked door, because duh, where else can you go? In fact, this gives you a little clue, this plaque here. So you go look at the Thunder Dragon and you find his chain and you follow it down for a key. I am pretty sure I am pretty good on ants, so I'm not going to worry about him. Alright, if you don't have the key, it is down here on the lowest of these hoodoos, and yes, they are called hoodoos. You can fly your beetle down. In fact, if you talk to a Sheikah stone, it'll, yeah, Sheikah stone, not a gossip stone, it'll show you getting the key with the beetle right there. I think that's why this rock is here, just a landmark. So you look for the rock, and then you can orient yourself and figure out where the beetle is. But take this, you stupid ant. No, you don't know, you don't know, you don't know, you don't know. And he goes off anyway. Whatever. So with the key, you just basically go the long way around. You make a full circle. And I'll show you the map. Here's your full circle. It is nice that the Wii I can use a pointer and show you what I'm talking about. This is where the life tree is, and there's a separate little jump you gotta make here in the past. There's a minecart that's coming up ahead. Easy peasy. These things are called levers, just like from the first Legend of Zelda. They used to fly up in the sky and their sharp blades would cut you, but I guess way back when they were just basically plants that weren't vicious, they just hovered in place. It's nice that they have those. These guys are valuable, he's sand cicada, but not as valuable as a Gerudo dragonfly. Pretty sure anyway. Reason being that the stamina potion, which is so helpful, you need one from everywhere. You need the Gerudo dragonfly, the Farron grasshopper, and the volcanic ladybug to get to it. I'm pretty good on these guys, so who needs you? Yeah, you got off lucky too. Here's a time shift stone, but nothing really happens. Well, it's a time shift stone in a minecart. The minecart doesn't get moving until you talk to the robot here, who is dead for 1,000 years. You can use your sword, you can use a bomb, you can use an arrow if you had one, or you can use a slingshot. I don't want to talk to him till I've cut down all this grass. There is nothing in this grass, and I will prove it. That's why I do this stuff. Plus, this game in particular, and I'm glad it is oriented that you will chop down grass and stuff, because that's how you find some of the good stuff, is you actually go explore these corners. And to get the rupees you need to cut down all these blades of grass. Okay, so Wolverine here. Get permission from the Master Dragon, blah blah blah. He just basically says he's now transporting this time shift ore. Purchase extreme caution. So in the past there are some bad guys that you have to deal with en route while this thing moves. You hit a bunch of these switches to open a bunch of these doors, but there are stopping points along the way where you have to find the switch. You have to stay kind of close to this thing because a lot of this is sink sand. In fact, you can just ignore some guy. Like, I'll just ignore him. He only exists. Oh wait, I take that back. He exists in the future too. Well, the hell with them, I don't need you. This is one of the first stopping places coming up here. But unfortunately, there's really nothing you can do. See? Cut down the grass, you find the switch. Ta-da! This sink sand. There's nothing you can do in the past here to make it worthwhile. There's nothing around. So hit the switch and you can move on. This is kind of a fun spot. See these bones here? It's more bokoblins. But you can make them go flying. Sucker. There's one more guy up here too. The way he just kind of spins and then wobbles and goes flying off. Watch this. That amuses me. If only I could do that to people in real life, especially drivers. This is easy to jump over. You'll overshoot that, so don't go too far there. This is at the bottom of the map. Big dark chasm place. You also have to follow the time shift card by going up here into these rafters, getting things. There's a Deku Baba here. And then things will pause while you go find this other switch. Here are some vines. My advice is to claw shot as far away as you can get. If you need to drop down in a hurry, because you're too high up, and here you have to climb up and down as well as left and right, you can actually hit A to let go and then make sure you hit A again to grab it. These vents disappear, well, I shouldn't say disappear in the past. They reset. A. Woo! So see, it's blaring. Then as soon as the past overtakes it, it stops. Oh, it took too long. But if I'm cocky, and I am, I can let go and catch myself. Jump! You'll see up ahead there are some keys. Don't worry about them one iota. I used to like to pick them off with arrows and slingshots ahead of time, just to be safe, but they literally cannot touch you. They exist only in the future. So as you follow this time shift card around, which you need to do in order to hit these claw shot targets, so I talked too long. My one weakness. The claw shot targets only exist in the past, the keys only exist in the future. Never the twain shall meet. In fact, it's kind of fun to watch the keys disappear. Cease to nothing. I have the power to erase them from time. Take that. There's one last little patch of shrubbery up here. There are some choo-choos that drop off here. Ah! No, don't touch me, I'm too tired. That's what she said. So I try to throw the bomb, but it doesn't always work. This, they make sure you know how to get your whip out ahead of time, because there will be some swinging coming in the near future. Equip the whip. This guy I think a bomb's just too foolhardy. No! A sword is better at these guys, but if you're using the sword, make sure you don't hit the time shift card, because that will actually make it go back to the future. That'll help you, and you'll sink into the quicksand. If you stay to the right of the time shift card, you'll be okay. There's the first swing. Ancient flower. I don't need it, but I just picked up a jelly blob, so maybe they will make me have it. Whatever. Yeah. These treasures carry over into hero mode too, so it's not all bad. Stay to the right here as well. The cart will block these spinners. Except for the second one. You need to be a little cautious of the second one. Yeah, whatever. But then all the other spinners. The second group, the second spinner is all you need to worry about. The rest will all get blocked by the cart. You'll notice here in the past there are these glowing bars that we saw before. That's the way I need to go, so you just wait for the past to pass. Ching. And you can run around. There are a couple more stamina fruit. And here's the switch to open this gate. We're almost done. His last room's a little hectic, though. This Master Sword is nice. Yeah! Get off! Seems I'm only gonna lock onto that one guy. You know what? Screw you guys. Come on, go away. Right here. Oh, come on! I'm jabbing! Ugh. No pun intended, but these controls are a double-edged sword. Okay, that was a pun intentional. Remember, you can shield bash these guys, they get too problematic. You have to kill both of these because the switch for this BMOS is, or the switch for this room is behind this BMOS. Don't worry about taking damage. There's a stool coming up. This is the part that gives me trouble, because I always jump the gun, I always get impatient and be like, so I could do that. Here, I'm gonna try again. There are a few bombs over here. Fly, fly, fly. Ah! Not fast enough. Alright. So ideally you stop one after the Deku Baba, and you're back to the main area. That is the second to last Goddess Cube. Or the last one if you're playing on Hero Mode and you could get to the Volcano one early. Be careful not to hit the time shift cart with this bomb, because those platforms under you will disappear and you will have to do it again. So I'll go ahead and drop that on the far side, and it won't work! F you! Told you this. Ugh. Yeah, whatever. This part makes me a little, agitated. But what doesn't, huh? A few more Deku Babas coming up. 1, 2... and a Quadra Baba. See if I can take care of him in one hit. Oh! New true Master Sword's pretty nice. You have no time to really do anything, and the camera resets you to a certain position anyway. But here we are back at the Thunder Dragon's area. His promenade. In the past, he's not dead yet. Just mighty, mighty sick. Which means if he can catch a cold and die, maybe it was the wrong choice to give him one of the songs. why I like the fire dragon, which I always do after the thunder dragon here, is because he's like, oh yeah, you must be the kid that wants the song. Here it is. It's like, well, thank you. Here's a guy trying to save the world, doing his duty, instead of punking me and dogging me at every turn. Thanks, Goddess Hylia. I'm almost done chopping stuff down. And I repeat that I won't do it on hero mode. I'll get to the point on hero mode. And you can chop down those little purple flowers. A vertical slice. Or if you're up close to them, a diagonal as well. Because I'm just so offended with wild flowers. They say nothing can grow here in the desert, yet here everything is. Including these weeds. The true Master Sword will also do a horizontal spin thingy. We'll take care of him. Not a spin, but a goddess beam. Yeah. This homeboy just says that there's a tree up over here. Later he does. Basically says you can't go past there, and he stops you every time you try. This guy also has some non-useful data. So sad. Sounds like he's barfing rather than coughing, doesn't he? LD 16. LD for Lanayru Desert 16 because Skyward Sword was the 16th Zelda game made. 1. The Legend of Zelda. 2. The Adventure of Link for NES. 3 was Link to the Past. 4 was Link's Awakening. Ocarina of Time was only 5. Majora's Mask was 6th, and Ages and Oracle of Seasons 7, 8. 4 Swords for the Game Boy Advance on the Link to the Past re-release cartridge was 9th. Then Wind Waker was 10th, and 4 Swords Adventures for the GameCube was 11. Minish Cap 12, Twilight Princess 13, Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks 14, 15, and then Skyward Sword. Then A Link Between Worlds, Triforce Heroes, and Breath of the Wild. Right. So he needs the fruit to survive. Now this little weenus will let you through. Shouldn't call him weenus. Fledge was weenus, but he made up for it. More ants coming up here if you decide that you need ants. I sure know. Yeah, I don't need a heart. I don't need a rupee either. Go on, stupid rupee. And the ants, stupid ant. You can run right up the side of this thing. And you can get that goddess cube 1,000 years ago, so don't try for it now. Because lo and behold, hidden under this sand dune, it's a time shift stone. We have no time. No time. So here's your life tree seedling that won't grow in this harsh desert condition. You need to find some place that it will grow. But wouldn't you know it, Groose just took up gardening and seemed interested in that. Of course, he just says, well, you're obligated now. It used to be reported online on some of the forums and wikis that there was a dowsing target to find the seedling here. But the plant's too easy to find, and all the instructions to find it never worked. And I don't look through the game's data or anything, but I've looked all around and tried what everyone said to try and read the guides. Even the print guides. And have not found a dowsing target for that new life-saving plant. There's another ancient flower around here too, if you need them. I feel lucky because I've collected so many bugs and treasures in the last little bit that they wouldn't pause and take me to the menu. I get a free plant. Should reach from here. Goddess Cube Y gets you just a small quiver from Bug Rock. Which, yeah, who cares? I don't need a small quiver. Too little, too late. It's like with the last one that got you a bomb bag. It's like, eh. If I needed it, I could buy it. The beetle is your surest fire way. You can also use an arrow, but it is difficult to do. And I don't have any arrows. So your beetle works best. Yes, to the sky. Now we're going over to Lanayru to the Temple of Time, or excuse me, the Temple of the Goddess Hylia, Sealed Temple, it's called now, to use that magic fertile patch of soil. And wouldn't you know it, I can also go back in time 1,000 years and wait for 1,000 years by only taking a couple of seconds. That's handy. I like to fly low just in case I find one of those birds carrying a silver rupee. The one time I saw one, if I remember correctly, it was over by the Thunderhead on the way out of Lanayru. Over yonder-wise. I think there was also one among these little asteroids. Oh, we're going the wrong way now. Let's control it. You point down, you rotate it. It just doesn't sync up correctly with the screen. You can also go to Farron Woods here first before you go asking the Thunder Dragon for his help. Either one of those landing spots is good. Or you can go straight to Elden Volcano instead. It's a good spot for grasshoppers if you need them. I don't think I do, particularly. What it is a lot of bad guys came through. Yeah. Put it down, Link. Go lie down. Wouldn't you know it, I could use me some arrows. Anyway, a lot of bad guys flooded Farron Woods. That's a bad pun. Bad choice of words. The bad guys got worse and worse, so the water dragon decided to flood the woods to get rid of them, so the woods are flooded. And Impa here had to close the gate just in time to keep the temple from flooding too. Thanks, water dragon. If you talk to these guys now, not much happens. It won't do any of the flooding storyline. She just reminds you that you gotta go talk to the dragon elsewhere. And Groose is now enamored with dirt. Gonna take forever. Duh, that's fine. Because the right way to do it is to go back in the past first. That's rotating counterclockwise now. When you go back the other way, it's clockwise. That's cool. So, just here to liven up the place, a little greenery. If you say nothing, choose the left option like I usually do. Then that ends the conversation right there. Marty! You gotta come back with me! Doc, back where? Back to the future! And now that this has been here the whole time... Same thing. The Groose is all giddy over a tree. I just want to hug it all day and cry. Wonk. They establish that this fruit is almost bigger than Link, so I don't really know how they say that he can carry it around and still have his hands free. Maybe they should have had the robot grab it or something. Every one of the lands that you go to get the Song of the Hero kinda has its own problems. And it changes the map a little bit. Farron Dragon here flooded everything. Lightning Dragon is dead. And the Fire Dragon has a volcanic eruption.